political concepts and constitution. In the highest tradition of Indian public service, our endeavor has been to prepare a proud citizen of the largest democracy in the world into a selfless officer whose principal motto should be to contribute and get rid of the perception that today's civil servants are neither civil nor servant. I also take this opportunity to welcome Shri S. C. Jaini, Member Civility and today's guest of honor. He belongs to 1976 batch of Indian Naval Service and is known as someone who leads by example. He is a die-hard optimist and has tremendous faith in individual capacity. We are grateful to him for coming to NADT one day earlier to deliver a talk on computation in offices and also agreeing to grace today's function. We are also grateful to other distinguished invitees and members of print and electronic media for gracing today's function. It is hard to accept the fact that officer trainees of 86 Foundation course are leaving now and 15 weeks association with them is over. But time is a thief which we cannot banish. Meetings and partings are facts of life. We meet to create memories and part to preserve them. We hope that all the Foundation course officers will be carrying pleasant memories of NADT. My advice to you all is to be an upright officer and remember that no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. On behalf of NADT, we all wish you a promising future ahead. I also take this opportunity to congratulate all of you for successful completion of Foundation course training and compliment the course team, particularly the course director, Mrs. Sri Tripur Sundari, and Associate Course Director, Sanjay Joseph, for working with total involvement and dedication round the clock to run the program with great professional competence. Before I conclude, I once again thank our chief guest, the guest of honor, and other dignitaries for gracing the occasion and making the occasion memorable for all of us. Thanks. We can now proceed to the next item on the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Srimati Tripura Sundari, Course Coordinator of 86 Foundation Course, to present Course Director's report.
Honorable Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former President of India, respected member, Audit and Judicial Central Board of Direct Taxes, Shri S. C. Jaini, Director General, National Academy of Direct Taxes, Shri G. G. Shukla, Additional Director General 1, Shri N. Shankaran, Additional Director General 2, Shri R. Ravichandran, Associate Course Coordinator, Shri Sanjay Joseph, Officer Trainees, members of the faculty, Officer Trainees of the 64th batch and the 86th Foundation course, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I deem it my proud privilege to present the course report of the 86th Foundation course as the course coordinator today. The 86th Foundation course, comprising of 88 officer trainees, 28 ladies and 60 gentlemen, joined on the 29th of August 2011, was inaugurated in the presence of Professor D.P. Agarwal, Chairman, Union Public Service Commission, as a chief guest, and Srimati Manjari Kakkar, Member CBDT, as the guest of honor. They belong to 9 different civil services and 1 All India service, namely the Indian Forest Service. The batch includes 1 officer from the Forest Service of the Royal Government of Bhutan, as well as 4 officers from the 2009 batch of the Indian Forest Service who have since completed their professional course training and now, upon completion of the Foundation course here at the Academy, would be reporting for duty to the respective states to which they have been allotted. The Foundation course is a transition from the academic world to the structured system of government. It aims at imparting an understanding of the political, social, economic, and administrative environment in which the government functions, and most importantly, aims at instilling the right attitudes and values such as self-discipline, integrity, dignity of labor, and sensitivity to the rights of citizens. Towards achieving this end, sir, the course design included a combination of academic, outdoor, co-curricular, and extracurricular activities. It included over 240 hours of academic inputs in 8 subjects, including information and communication technology and official language. For those of the officer trainees who came from Hindi medium and were exempted from attending Hindi classes, they were provided an opportunity to hone their basic and written and spoken English skills in English, and for the rest of them, option of learning an altogether new language in French was facilitated for the first time. The academic inputs, being a significant part of the curriculum, were imparted by distinguished professors, vice chancellors, and academicians from leading universities in the country, apart from our own in-house faculty. Eminent persons from all walks of life, educational, judicial, political, bureaucratic, social, art and culture, sports, and civil society groups were invited to broaden the outlook through different perspectives and to make the officer trainees more responsive to the requirements of the work environment. The methodology adopted for the academics included lecture discussions, case studies, role-play exercises, debates, group presentations, hands-on workshops, quizzes, written assignments, moot courts, and model parliament sessions to ensure active participation of the trainees. The performance of the officer trainees is evaluated on the basis of final exams, supplemented by internal evaluation. It gives me great pleasure, sir, to inform this House that all the 88 officer trainees have successfully passed in all the subjects. Apart from the academic component, the foundation course lays great emphasis on imbibing the spirit of physical fitness, building esprit de corps to foster greater coordination, as well as promote all-round development of the personality by participation in various co-curricular and extracurricular activities. These broader objectives have been achieved through a number of activities scheduled outside the classroom. The officer trainees undertook a week-long trek to Manali and Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh, organized under the aegis of state-run institution, namely Atal Bihari Vajpayee Institute of Mountaineering and Allied Sports in Manali, in 2 groups. The trek to the Himalayas was a significant learning experience in group dynamics, apart from evoking a sense of respect for the nature. Subsequently, they were sent for a week-long village visit to 15 different villages in 5 districts of Maharashtra. This provided them the opportunity to experience the realities of rural India, understand and appreciate the concerns of the villagers and their priorities. Physical fitness was tested through regular physical training and karate sessions, also through cross-country running and various track and field events in the athletic meets, which saw various records being set or broken. An appreciation of their fitness levels, sir, came from none other than the golden girl of athletics, Miss P.T. Usha herself, during the prize distribution for athletic meet. The officer trainees were also exposed to the best of music and dances culture, organized in coordination with SPIC McKay. Besides, the officer trainees themselves participated in various cultural programs, one-act plays, and exhibited their skills and talents in dance, drama, and theatre. India Day celebrations were celebrated with the officer trainees dressing up in the traditional costumes and organizing a visual treat through their cultural performances, and which culminated in a feast of a wide variety of cuisines from across the country. India Day celebrations truly helped in building up the pride for the national heritage and the rich cultural and ethnic diversity. Deepavali was celebrated with revelry, rangoli competitions, lighting of diyas and bursting of crackers on the one hand, and on the other hand with visits to the old age and destitute homes to be with the underprivileged on that occasion as part of their initiatives towards social responsibility. Further, funds have been collected through an fete organized during the foundation course, which have been also pledged for donations to charitable organizations. The officer trainees were also sensitized during the course to the needs and problems of the differently abled through a very inspirational address and interaction from a visually impaired person himself, who had taken up the cause of promoting welfare among the disabled in his own way. Sir, I would like to mention that we have in the batch 4 officer trainees who are physically challenged, for whom we have attempted to make all efforts to suit our training means and methods to ensure their participation. All the officers have done well, and with pride and great satisfaction, sir, I would like to state today that one particular officer trainee, though physically challenged, simply outclassed his abled batchmates by being the only one to scale the 60 feet height wall conducted as part of the outdoor activities in faculty and eminent persons for their active participation in the training process. At the end, I would only like to add that there was never a dull moment in the whole of the 15 weeks, and every moment I spent is truly worth remembering. I wish all the very best in the careers ahead to the 4 officers from the 2009 batch of IFS who would be joining the field, and to others a seamless continuation of the period of happy learning which they have begun here at the Academy. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. 86th Foundation course of 15-week duration began on 29th August 2011, ends in first week of December 2011. It has been a short, sweet, and memory-laden experience for the officer trainees to cherish those memories throughout the days to come. To get the feedback on the foundation course training, I invite officer trainee of 86th Foundation course, Ms. Arpita Saha.
Honorable Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former President of India and Chief Guest of the Valediction Ceremony, Guest of Honor Shri S.C. Jaini, Member Central Board of Direct Taxes, Shri G.G. Shukla, Director General, National Academy of Direct Taxes, Shri N. Shankaran, Additional Director General 1, Shri R. Ravichandran, Additional Director General 2, Course Coordinator Srimati C. Tripura Sundari, Associate Course Coordinator Shri Sanjay Joseph, distinguished guests, officer trainees of the 64th batch of IRS and the 86th Foundation course, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. It is with a very heavy, at the same time happy heart that I stand here in front of you today. Heavy because we are nearing the end of our foundation course. Happy because each one of us has achieved so much in the past 3 months that probably no one else could have. I still remember the first day we entered this academy, the apprehension in our minds as to what the coming 3.5 months would hold for us. But now that those 3.5 months are over, I can say with pride that our hearts are filled with gratitude and hope for the future. From the outdoor activities of the Sahas camp to the 10-day long trek to the Himalayas, we learned what team building is all about. Living under the most difficult circumstances in the wilderness, never giving up both mentally and physically is what the foundation course taught us. The India Day function brought out the patriotic spirit in all the officer trainees who put up a fantastic stage performance to showcase our cultural ethos. The sports day and marathon displayed the sportsmanship of all the officer trainees. My speech would be incomplete without special mention of the book reviews, term papers, seminars, debates, and workshops which kept us on our toes throughout. And I can proudly say that we completed all the tasks assigned to us with utmost perfection. While the debates and seminars honed our oratory skills, the written submissions tested our ability to think analytically and originally on a regular basis. Interactions with eminent personalities from all walks of life broadened our knowledge base considerably. I think the greatest takeaway from our course is that nothing is impossible, and it is only our mental blocks that prevent us from trying out new things. With courage and conviction, we can achieve all that we ever dreamt of. The village visit taught us what real India is all about. The numerous activities like Model Parliament and Moot Court brought out new facets of our personality. Armed with graduate, postgraduate, and even doctoral degrees, we probationers had entered NADT with a lot of zeal and enthusiasm, and the foundation course always kept our morale high by helping us achieve more than we could ever imagine, both academically as well as in extracurricular activities. I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all the faculty members for being friends, philosophers, and guides for all that we undertook. I am sure 30 years down the line, when we all see our batch photo with our grandchildren, we will be able to recognize each other and cherish all the fond memories that we have with this academy. It is with a heavy heart that I bid adieu to the academy and my friends. But there is also a glowing hope that we would meet in the future for our reunion and recollect the amazing things we did here at NADT. Lastly, I would like to quote a few lines for all my batchmates who have been more than a family for the entire period of foundation course. As Richard Bach said, "Don't be dismayed at goodbyes. A farewell is necessary before you can meet again. And meeting again after moments or a lifetime is certain for those who are friends. So, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." Thank you.
Thank you, Arpita. Now I invite our guest of honor, Shri S.C. Jaini, IRS, Member Audit and Judicial CBDT, to address the gathering.
Most revered Abdul Kalam Sahab, my esteemed colleagues, on behalf of CBDT, sir, I welcome you to this beautiful function of valediction for our trainee officers. I also congratulate all the trainee officers who, after successful completion of their valediction, are leaving this academy in the hope and the fond hope, as Arpita has said, to meet again, maybe here, maybe elsewhere. In the 4 minutes allotted to me, I will quote the instances of two great men. First, of course, I will quote Mahatma Gandhi's reaction when he was called in the House of Commons to deliver a 2-hour lecture, and when he was asked whether you have come with a written note, he says, no, I am a simple villager, I will speak what a common man in this country wants. After his 2 hours of address in the House of Commons, without a note sheet and without a written speech, the reporters surrounded his secretary and asked that how could this man speak in House of Commons for 2 hours without any promptings and without any notes. And this is what my friend Mahadev Desai replied to the reporters. He says, what Gandhi thinks, what he feels, what he says, and what he does are all the same. He does not need notes. You and I, we think one, feel another, say a third, and do a fourth. So we need notes and to keep track of what we have said. Gentlemen, this is transparency in thought and action. Please remember. I'll also now quote our most revered friend, philosopher and guide from his book, The Ignited Minds, on page 195. He has quoted an incident there, and I will read it as it is. At a sports meet for the physically and mentally handicapped children conducted by the National Institute of Mentally Handicapped, Hyderabad, I witnessed an unforgettable incident in one race. 9 contestants, all physically and mentally disabled, assembled at the starting line for a 100-meter race. At the starting signal, they all started out, not exactly in a dash, but with a relish to run the race and to finish and to win. But one little boy stumbled on the asphalt, tumbled over a couple of times and began to cry. The other 8 heard the boy cry. They slowed down and looked back. And then they all turned around and went back, every one of them. One girl with Down syndrome bent down and kissed him and said, "This will make it better." Then all the 9 linked their arms together and walked together till they reached the finishing line. Everyone in the stadium stood and clapped, and cheering went on for several minutes. Friends, this is team spirit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Honorable Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam to kindly deliver the valedictory address.
Friends, good evening to all of you. We are reaching evening time, so I am very happy to meet. Particularly, I would like to greet Sri Jaini, member CBDT, and G.G. Shuklaji, Director General, NADT, and Sri N. Sankaran, Additional Director General, NADT. Shri Ravichandran, Additional Director General to, and Shri Tripura Sundari, Course Director 86th Foundation Course, and Mr. Sanjay Joseph, Associate Course Director 86th Foundation Course, and all the participants, officer trainees of 86th Foundation Course, officer trainees of 64th batch of IRS, and faculty members. My greetings to all of you. Friends, I am happy to participate in the valedictory function of 86th Foundation Course at National Academy of Direct Taxes, Nagpur. I congratulate all the members of the 86th Foundation Course for their excellent academic performance and the faculty members for shaping the young minds. The National Academy of Direct Taxes is indeed nurturing the human resource needed by different public services by cultivating the spirit of cooperation and interdependence among and between them. Since the participants of the 86th Foundation course just in the verge of taking up a lifetime assignment, I would like to discuss few thoughts on the topic, what I will be remembered for. The topic I have selected, what I will be, when you go out of this campus, you are carrying a message, what I will be remembered for. Friends, on 22nd November this year, I went to Jorhat for addressing the World Tea Science Congress. There, I addressed the administrative and police officers of Jorhat and Dibrugarh district of Assam, which was organized by Mr. R.C. Jain, District Magistrate for Jorhat, on 21st November evening. 22nd, the World Tea Conference. After my talk, I administered an oath to the participant. I will work with integrity and succeed with integrity.